one must ask the true question. What the hell is an emoji movie? Hola everyone, my name is Dana. I make a video every single week, and folks, I have no idea on how to make this an interesting intro. Like generally, in all the movies that I review, I try to bring in an interesting hook that drives the viewers in, like a movie's history, or maybe possibly adding my little funny spin to it. But this, I'm lost. I have never watched the Emoji Movie before, because honestly, who really would? I only really knew about it because of the hate videos that came from YouTube, and especially from the YouTuber Jack's Films, as he was known to make thousands of videos sarcastically endorsing the film before it came out, and then he was rewarded for it by the movie's creators as he was invited to the movie's premiere. Utter insanity! But as all that hate happened 8 years ago, oh gosh, this all happened 8 years ago, I'm here to find out for myself if this movie is really what the hate claims it to be. This is my review of the Emoji Movie. We begin the movie with the narrator, who I will introduce later as Gene, who monologues regarding how society uses phones nowadays, noting with how fast life becomes, so does our attention spans, and with the lack thereof, it resorts to people just exchanging conversation with each other through emojis, then barely bothering to text proper words to each other. So first off, if it wasn't obvious enough, I am no child, but this is still a stupid monologue. Yes, it's true that many of us are losing our attention spans and it becomes hard for anyone to keep someone's attention for so long. I would know it because I look at my YouTube analytics. But even so, we're not at the point where people are making conversations based off emojis. We use emojis in addition to what we mean through our texts. Nothing more, nothing less. I am barely 2 minutes into this and I'm already too deep in thought regarding a monologue from a movie called the freaking Emoji Movie. Oh, I am in for a treat. And soon G reveals that within the phone comes with the emojis living in a world called Testopolis, where all the emojis go to live and have to live the exact personality trait of what their emoji is. And this is where we meet Gene, who has to act like the meh emoji, but he has trouble in keeping this one personality trait as he's always expressing other emotions.
Yes, well, we have business to attend to.
What kind of business?
Monkey business.
We're in for a long one.
Is that the time? Hey, my eyes are up here, pal.
Man, this movie just started and I've already judged too much. So Gene gets confronted by his parents, who are also meh emojis, admitting that they don't feel that he should go into work today as they feel that he's not ready to be an emoji. And while this happens, we are introduced to our next character, Poop, who is infamously known to be voiced by Sir Patrick Stewart, Professor X in the X-Men, the Captain in Star Trek, and the Poop from the Emoji Movie. God damn, what a lineup! And while trying to look up some facts regarding Patrick's involvement with the film, I've come to see that some websites will credit his character as either Poop or Poop Daddy. Yes, Poop Daddy. I can't believe I really just said that. And I can't even tell if this is a meme or just part of the lore. Maybe both?
Should we wash our hands?
We're number 2.
Why'd that make me laugh? But Gene tells his parents that he has to do this in the good name of just, and see if you've heard this one before, but Gene is just trying to be like everyone else. Aww. He's just a guy, or emoji, that is just trying to fit in. Aww. But here we meet the owner of the phone that has Gene in it, who is a kid named Alex, who is in class discussing with his friend on how he could reply to his crush.
What should I write? Nothing. Nothing? Words aren't cool.
Words aren't cool. Do the writers in this movie have any kids? Have they considered asking them how the generation talks? Because even though I'm not in the demographic to talk about the generation, I'm gonna say no one really talks like this. So when Alex decides to use the meh emoji, Gene immediately freaks out and causes issue with the scanner, causing immediate panic with all the emojis and destroying the entire emoji set, which the leader of all this, named Smiley, considers Gene to be a malfunction.
You're so soft, Poop.
Not too soft, I hope.
Okay, I feel like I understand why I laughed at the last joke. This only works because it's Patrick Stewart saying these lines. Anyone who would have said this line would have been castrated in the pits of hell. But Patrick Stewart, even for such a garbage line, his delivery is what carries the character. So Gene goes to Smiley to know what his status is as an emoji.
You made a mistake, which caused Alex to lose faith in the phone.
Christ, this is a G-rated movie and decided to create that visual? This is quite the movie's over. So Smiley's best solution of sorting the problem out was doing this, but in a kid-friendly way, which is just to delete Jean from the phone entirely. Jean tries to run away from Smiley's bots, but while that happens, we get introduced to High Five, who is played by a douchebag ex-talk show host. Oh no, not that one. That one. And when Jean bumps into him, Jean alerts that the bots are after him, but High Five would assume that they were looking for him specifically, so Jean and High Five both escape together. They hightail away and hide into a secret room that High Five refers to as the Loser Lounge, a room that is filled with emojis that don't get used at all. And I think everyone with a brain would find this confusing to see, but why is the eggplant emoji there? You really want to convince me that the eggplant emoji was the least used emoji on a phone? That's owned by a boy? Okay. So High Five suggests that the best way to get back to the phone is just to find a hacker that can out-program him back to it. So they both leave Textopolis to enter into the piracy app.
Wants his parents to think this is called a skin.
Really? What could a teenage boy possibly want to hide from his parents?
Where is this movie going? Okay, gotcha. So they go to meet the hacker named Jailbreak, who gets asked for help in sorting out Jean's issue out, but she first says that she has no interest in doing that, but when the bots come in hunting for Jean, Jailbreak gets fascinated by Jean's ability to turn into different emojis, and they all hightail off together while the bots just generally go nuts as they go into a lovely little killing spree. They would then fall into the Candy Crush app, branding, and with Jean getting stuck on the app, it's up to Jailbreak and High Five to help get him out. We then see Alex trying to make a move in talking to his crush, but when Candy Crush starts playing in the background of his phone, he loses his chance in talking to his crush, leading him to make an appointment to get his phone sorted out, aka potentially removing all the data on his phone, which puts all the emojis in a panic. Jean's parents would then go out to Textopolis to find him, and while being on YouTube, they notice that the bots are following them.
I think we're being followed, but don't overreact.
Uh-oh.
I told you not to overreact.
Are you bored? Because I am bored. But Jean's parents stop the bots in their tracks with cat videos. Okay, look, watching cat videos is cool and all, but watching cat videos was a meme in the early stages of YouTube. This movie was made in 2017. Does this film know their target audience at all, or? So the gang get to the Dance Dance Revolution app, and they have to dance their way out, but when the gang do so well, they get to do a free-for-all level where all the characters can dance how they like.
Nice! Shake it, Gene!
They had an animator. A real, talented animator. Animate that into the movie. They were tasked to animate a hand with an ass. Is it too late to just end the movie review now? And while they dance, Jailbreak's beauty falls off, revealing that she was a princess emoji the entire time. But the gang is never given time to discuss about it, as the bots have entered into the same app as them. But with the music disrupting Alex's time in class, it leads to Alex uninstalling the app, which rushes everyone to try and escape. But when High Five tries to parkour his way out of there, one of the bots take him out into the void. Jailbreak wants to get into the cloud as they're finally there, but Jean objects that they have to go back and save High Five, to which she agrees.
Did you realize that on the first emoji set, a woman can either be a princess or a bride?
So what the hell are these? So do no human emojis exist in this world? There should be, as there is a female dancer emoji appearance at the end of the movie. Are they considered as women in the emoji world? I'm seriously asking too many questions for a movie that will not answer that for me. So Jailbreak admits that she wants to go to the cloud because the cloud provides her the opportunity to be whoever she wants. So they save High Five and get to the Dropbox, but they're blocked by a firewall and need a password to help get in. And with multiple failed attempts, they've come to realize that the kid's password to the Dropbox was his crush's name. Ew. You're not involved with this girl. Why are you naming a password after her when you guys had barely connected with each other at all? It's a bit creepy, but okay. But they get to the cloud, and while Jailbreak tries to hack in the bases, Jean confesses that he has feelings for her. But Jailbreak rejects him because she doesn't want to be like all the other princesses waiting for their prince, and just wants to stick with just being independent. And it was a rejection that hit Jean so hard that it actually took him back to being the man emoji. So like, mission accomplished, she helped! But one of the bots kidnapped Jean, so Jailbreak calls out the Twitter bird to help reach them to Jean faster. Smiley is ready to exile Jean, but Jean's parents come in to save him, and it ultimately means nothing as the bots catches Jean's dad and puts him in the same position as Jean is in. But the real hero saved Jean and stopped the bot from attacking everyone. But everyone can't celebrate for too long as Alex is about to delete everything from his phone. But as he's doing that, Alex's friend takes notice that his crush is there and the emojis believe that maybe they could help in expressing Alex's emotions to her. But there could only be one emoji to help express that. High Five suggests that Jean should be the one to do the job because he has all the emoji expressions to pull this off. To which everyone unanimously agrees without asking any more questions, even though Jean's unlimited emoji expressions are the reason as to why they're here in the first place. You know, if this plan fails, it's their fault. So Jean expresses whatever this is, and for some reason it instantly has the crush won over.
That's one super cool emoji. A lot of feelings in one. I get it. I like that you're one of those guys who can actually express his feelings.
Girl! He sent you an emoji. That is the worst way to possibly express yourself to a person. He never sent you a heartfelt message. He just sent you an emoji. That's it. Because 9 times out of 10, and trust this on me, nobody's gonna get sprayed away depending on what emoji you send to them. It is wild that I have to clear this up. So Alex manages to bring his phone back to normal, leaving all the emojis alive and celebrating. And the movie ends with high-fiving, not even lip-syncing to his own lines.
And high five, and high five, and high five, and high five. I love both of us.
And that was the Emoji Movie. What is there to say about it? It's the Emoji Movie. I'm gonna forget about it by tomorrow. It's bad, yes, but I don't think it's the worst I've ever seen. I just think it's boring. The premise is boring. They don't even accomplish the goal that they set out to be because the whole setup of the movie was really telling the audience that they should just be who they really are. And I think this movie sent that message pretty decently, but like, it's not really the best. Sure, it's a movie for kids, but man, I feel like we're just wasting the kids' time by making them watch this, as I don't think you'll see people come out of the movie theater talking about anything significant that stood out to them in this movie. So yeah, that was all for me. Find them all on my socials. Subscribe now as I make a video every single week without fail. Goodbye, goodbye.